This video will contain spoilers from the manga You Have Been Warned. So hello and welcome to Under YZ, my name is Soham and today we are going to talk about Boruto Manga Chapter 56. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to the channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with Boruto manga reviews. With that being said, let's begin the video. Now before directly jumping into the chapter, I need to address two particular things that happen here, especially in regards to the anime as well. Because there are two events or two circumstances that have happened in this particular chapter which the anime has kind of changed or removed altogether. So I kind of wonder how the anime is going to adapt those things, or rather how the anime is going to even introduce those things. Maybe it will be by the utilization of anime canon, but I'm not really sure here. I'm going to talk about all of that in detail when that part of the chapter actually comes. So in the meantime, Sumire is actually featured in the cover page of this chapter, but the title of the chapter is none other than Code. And the title and cover of this chapter is in reference to the two most important characters of this chapter, that is obviously Sumire and Code. Because here we finally get the full confession of Sumire that yes, she indeed likes Boruto. Because initially we see that Kawaki is recovering here and his arm has been healed, or rather his arm has been replaced because of the utilization of the scientific ninja tools. All this is done by Amado, but the help of Katasuke and even Sumire is very important here. We see in this chapter that Sumire is trying to be very cheerful here and she is trying to be polite with Kawaki and is about to give him an injection, but Kawaki says that he does not deserve any kindness and he does not want to be treated like a child and she can just give him that injection without even telling him. Now this is kind of a tsundere moment here. It was not something extraordinary, but it's pretty interesting because of the things that are happening just after this moment, because Sumire kind of talks about Boruto here and how Kawaki is always with him, but at that very moment Kawaki actually says the fact that yes, Sumire likes Boruto. Everyone is aware of that. Even Katasuke says that yes, we all figured that out, and Sumire is absolutely blushing like anything. Here a chibi version of Sumire kind of appears and this was really good stuff. Even though she doesn't exactly say the words here with her very own mouth, but it is implied here heavily that yes, she actually loves Boruto, and it's kind of implied and confirmed here in this particular chapter, which is pretty nice in my opinion. Now I'm personally not a very huge fan of shipping, anime shippings, so I don't really care if Sarada ends up with Boruto or Sumire ends up with Boruto. I am fine with either of them until unless the story is actually well written. Moreover, I don't just want to see a romantic relationship, I want to see a good platonic relationship as well. It would be really nice if Sumire or Sarada, the one who is not ending up as a romantic interest of Boruto, remains a very good friend for Boruto and acts as a point of hope for him. Now here, recently we saw the anime which was adapting the starting of the Kara organization arc, and as a result in the manga we saw that it removed the manga confession of Sumire and a lot of fans are obviously unhappy with it. And now with the manga actually confirming beyond a shadow of fact that Sumire does love Boruto, I don't really understand how the anime is going to tackle this. Maybe they are going to introduce more anime canon moments where they properly lead up to this particular moment, because yes, the manga kind of just rushes to the plot and the anime is doing a good job here by kind of establishing the moments here and there. Moreover, because of the words of Katasuke, I believe that some of the elders already know that Sumire has a crush on Boruto, and I kind of wonder if Naruto also knows the same thing or not. That would be pretty interesting to watch. But at the same time, talking about Naruto, I am really disappointed that we don't really get anything in relation to the rest of the Uzumaki family, which is kind of really sad in my opinion. I wanted to have more character interactions here, but maybe we are going to get that in the next chapter just before we get the eventual time skip. Now after this we get the interview moment of Boruto, who is really feeling awkward at this moment because the village has touted him to become the quote-unquote hero of this incident, and how he is the one who actually saved everyone from the menace of the Otsutsuki clan. So everyone is basically equating him to an hero here. Moreover, the village obviously does not know the main truth about the Kara organization, Code, Ishiki Otsutsuki as well as the karma in itself, so it's kind of obvious that they are going to praise him at this very moment. Because at this moment it would be very risky for the village to know the truth about the karma, so that's why the higher ups are kind of hiding it at this very moment. But because Boruto actually knows the truth about himself, he is kind of hating himself for the things that he has done so far, and this is kind of going to be the starting point for Boruto's downfall. Now if you all are familiar with the tropes that are applied in anime or basically in any literature medium, then you pretty well know that this is going to be the starting point of Boruto's downfall, which will be obviously going in accordance to the prophecy of Momoshiki Otsutsuki. Also here we can see that Boruto is still wearing Sasuke's headband, the scratched headband of Sasuke. I think that Sasuke is going to permanently give Boruto this, and very soon we are going to see that particular scar which we saw in that time skip. Now on the other hand, Boruto's friends are watching the interview currently, including Sarada, Mitsuki, Shikadai, Inojin and Chocho. And also welcome back Sarada and Mitsuki, you all are a part of the main crew, but still you have been out for such a long time. I don't even remember the last time when you were in the manga. I think it was in relation to the Boro fight, but after that point onwards, you were totally missing, so welcome back to the manga once again. Now here once again, this is one of my major problems with the manga and how it is handling with the side characters. I mean, Sarada and Mitsuki are not even the side characters at this moment. They are supposed to be the most important characters of the series. They are the Team 7, the central focus of the series. But even they are not focused, so let's not even talk about the other secondary characters here. I hope the anime does justice to all of this and focuses on the other characters as well. Even though I have my problems with the anime as well, but still they are at least doing some sort of a justice to the side characters to some extent. So hopefully the anime will do something good with these particular characters. But all of them are basically having a frank discussion about Boruto and the things that have happened up until this moment. There are some usual jokes about Inojin and Chocho, but I don't really care about them. The most important fact that is revealed here, however, Team 7 has officially been stopped from taking any more missions from this point onwards because of Boruto's status. Currently, Boruto is not truly able to control his powers, and as such, they do not want to have any untoward situation or untoward circumstances, and hence Team 7 is now off the charts and they are not able to take any missions from this point onwards. This is obviously implying and screaming to our faces that yes, a time skip is eventually coming very soon and they are going to get more powerful. Now we all know that Sarada is obviously going to focus upon her Sharingan prowess and maybe eventually get a Mangekyo Sharingan, but I'm kind of wondering how Mitsuki will be handled here and how the entire thing with the Sage mode will be handled. Maybe Log will come into the play once again, but we'll have to wait and watch for that. But in the meantime, we see Boruto after the interview and he's sitting up on the Hokage rock and we get some very interesting revelations that are happening here. But before that, there are some girls who are walking down the street and they see and wave at Boruto. Basically, this is his popularity phase. Once again, this is shouting to us that Boruto's downfall is coming very soon, and while he waves at them, he notices the karma mark in his right arm and he thus immediately switches to his left arm. This moment really kind of reminded me of Sasuke's popularity and how the girls went gaga over him. So yeah, Boruto is obviously channeling his inner Sasuke at this moment. But after all of this, Kawaki eventually joins him and they kind of have an awkward talk here, but the most important moment of this talk is the revelations that are happening here. Kawaki talks about the current situation to Boruto and how they are both 80% Otsutsuki at this very moment, but the situation is much worse for Boruto himself because his karma has not been stopped yet. Thus, he gives Boruto a very unorthodox solution here and he tells him that in order to save yourself, in order to save your very existence, you can probably think about one particular thing that is coming from the Otsutsuki clan itself, and that is in relation to reincarnation via karma itself. Basically, Kawaki says that Boruto can leave his karma upon some individual who has already been marked by karma, and who is that person? That person is none other than Code. Prior to all of this, Code had been marked by Ishiki Otsutsuki's karma, so Boruto can take the advantage of all of that and mark his karma upon him, thereby guaranteeing his own reincarnation. Boruto is obviously taken aback by all of this, but because he is a shinobi, he knows that sometimes they have to take some untoward decisions as well. But at the same time, we get more information about Code as well and how he was from the very same batch of Kawaki, and we get some flashbacks here and how Kawaki survived Jigen's baptism here, which is basically being marked by the karma. And it is also revealed here Code survived even though he was not technically a vessel, but still he survived and was saved, but all the other kids died one by one because of the continuous effects of the karma mark. Thus, once again, it is very clear to all of us that the Kara organization was basically like a cult. I've talked about this many times in the past, and now with this particular chapter, we get a solid confirmation in this particular regard. I'm not going to explain all the things right here in this particular video because I'm making a separate video altogether upon this topic separately, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to release that very soon. In the meantime, we see Code, who is currently walking through a snowy continent, and it seems like he's going towards Boro's religious home. Yes, Boro's home is supposed to be a religious organization who had stored many artifacts which were made by Amado himself. Moreover, here we finally get to see the true terrifying strength of Code and how his white karma acts basically like a weaponry upgrade of the Otsutsuki clan. It's not exactly a vessel, but rather it has all the weaponry prowess of the Otsutsuki clan. Moreover, here we can see how his karma can influence his fingers and basically transform them into sharp Wolverine-like claws. This is obviously an indication about the future of the series as well, and how Code might go on to become the person who eventually gives Boruto, or rather Teen Boruto, the scar that we saw in the time skip. I've already made a video upon this particular topic explaining all the things, all my theories here, so you can watch it right here. But in the meantime, we are introduced to another very interesting power of Code, and that is in relation to the belt that he wears above his eyes. Now once again the anime kind of changed this particular thing, and in the anime this belt is actually white in color rather than the black color of the manga. So I don't know if this is just going to be an artistic choice or the anime is going to add anime canon wherein he changes the white belt to a black belt, because this belt is kind of important here because he uses this black belts to make some very thin portals via which he's kind of able to teleport. Now this entire thing looks really creepy, but it's really fun at the very same time, and it also kind of reminds me of the space-time powers that Kaguya Otsutsuki also had. I don't know if they're kind of similar powers or not, but these belts are obviously different from Kaguya's powers. So these might be part of the scientific ninja tools that were installed upon him. Because here we also find out that Amado had actually fitted some very interesting things upon Code, because Amado reveals here that all the other members of the Gaara organization had some sort of an enhancement that is fitted to their body in order to power them up, but Code is the only exception here because his body had a limiter in order to suppress his immense reserve of powers. Jigen was also kind of intimidated by it, but because of Code's immense loyalty to Jigen and sort of a worshipment towards the Otsutsuki clan, he did not dispose away Code, and that is the reason why Amado had fitted a limiter upon Code. Also, Amado reveals that he had created more cyborgs which are even stronger than Jigen. Now please keep in mind that here it is being talked about Jigen and not Ishiki Otsutsuki himself, so I'm not going to enter the debate about whether these cyborgs are actually stronger than Ishiki Otsutsuki or not, but basically we know for a fact that these cyborgs are strong, and Jigen had initially ordered them to be destroyed, but Boro had apparently kept them, and now Code is actually trying to go to Boro's hideout and find out this particular cyborg called Ada, who knows everything about the universe. Here he absolutely decimates the guards who are protecting this particular place, and he just devastates and destroys them in one swift go. Now a quick note here, I really am not a fan of the character design of this particular character called Ada. She might eventually grow up on me, but for now I'm not really liking the design, because this design really reminds me of Hinata from the early days of Boruto, where she had that terrible hair. Lastly, two more important things happen in this particular chapter, or rather the entirety of this chapter is so important. I mean literally every point is giving us so much of information. But anyway, two more important points that are revealed here is that Naruto is going to call another 5 Kage summit. Now this is pretty obvious and I called it in my prediction video for chapter 56 as well. Now here everything is going to be revealed, the truth about Ishiki Otsutsuki and the Gaara organization, the Karma Mark's truth, and everything that is happening with Boruto as well. And maybe, just maybe, Naruto is also going to reveal the fact that he has lost Kurama and Sasuke has lost the Rinnegan as well. So this is going to be a very huge event, and I'm going to cover this particular thing in a separate video and do some of my speculations as well as to what can we expect from this 5 Kage summit. Lastly, Boruto tells Kawaki that they need to get stronger, he needs to get stronger in order to face Code, which is going to be the next approaching villain, basically implying to us that yes, the time skip is coming very soon. So anyway guys, these were my thoughts upon Boruto manga chapter 56. I think that this was a really important chapter and we got some very crucial details in regards to the lore and the future of this series. So what do you guys think about all of this? Please mention your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today guys, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel for more. Also please do join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features. So that's it for today guys, see you all in the next one.